Hi everyone! This video is how I create my thread painted postcards. I like to use Tony's photos to thread paint, and I will use this Morning Glory photo in this example. You can use fabric with images, or you can sketch your own image on muslin. You can add applique, and you can just have fun in free motion, whatever you like. This person liked Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night oil painting, the top left, and recreated it with thread painting, bottom right. I print the photos using HP OfficeJet on muslin with freezer paper. The freezer paper I like to use is Quilter's freezer paper. It is already 8.5 by 11 and sticks a little better than regular roll freezer paper. But if it's all you have, give it a try. Cut an 8.5 by 11 piece and iron onto muslin. Trim muslin to freezer paper size. Since the postcard finish size is 4 by 6. I print 2 photos about 4.5 by 6.5 at a time. After you print, remove the freezer paper. Please note that the printer image is not washable. Since I don't wash my postcards, this is not a problem for me. You will definitely need stabilizers, so I used fusible interfacing on the back. Before I start to sew, I add another piece of sturdy fabric with stabilizer on it also. With all the thread painting, you will get buckling, distortion, and shrinkage, so have allowance for this. Make sure your image is bigger than 4 by 6. Next, choose your thread colors. And set up your machine for free motion quilting. To start, I like to stitch around the focal point and then stitch around the outer edge of the image. You can sew straight lines, circles, ziggy lines, whatever you want. There are no rules. I like to start stitching on the background first. This helps reduce buckling. Also, I like to space out the stitching, then go back and fill it in. This also helps the buckling and distortion. While working on a small area, I like to have my hands close to the foot for control of the fabric and placement of the stitches. Right about here, I noticed the speed of the machine was just a little too fast, so I stopped and slowed it down. Now I am just filling in with more thread. Here I am filling in the foliage area with another shade of green thread and adding texture with loops. Keep adding as many shades as you want. I know it looks like a mess right now, but it will be okay in the end. Here you can see a buckle in the fabric. I'm going to try and sew it out. Sometimes this works and others not so much. I don't have many shades of purple threads, so I used this wine color, then went over it with a medium shade of purple thread to get the effect I needed. With the medium shade of purple, I use it to define the petals. Here is the finished thread painting. You can see that the image has shrunk. There is a buckle in the flower, so I sprayed the back with starch, pressed it, and left it to cool with my pressing block. Print off your postcard back the same way we printed the photo and cut in half. Cut a 4x6 piece of Pellon Peltex for your batting. Use a ruler and trim down the thread painting to 4x6. With the back image face down, line up Peltex on it, then place the thread painting on top. Using a walking foot, I stitch around to secure all layers. Here you can see the buckle in the flower that we starched and pressed. It will not move once the edge is stitched. Once you finish stitching around, trim the backing to the same size as the thread painting. I like to satin stitch around my postcards twice. Here I'm using my Juki machine on a folding table, and you can really see the bouncing of the table. I ever so slightly push the card through my machine because of the thickness. And here is the finished postcard, front and back. Top left is the photo and bottom right is my thread painted version. Here is my version of Aurora Borealis. Here is my version of the old barn. This is the one I won Excellence in Thread Use by Machine from CQA Postcard Challenge in 2018. Here is another abandoned barn. This one with the monarch butterflies is on wild aster and is my favorite. This beauty photo was someone's interpretation of an icy waterfall. This original image was created with shiny thread. The shiny thread makes a huge difference. I only use quilter's cotton thread that makes everything dull, but still okay. The hay bale was fun. First I sprayed the image with a little water and it went watercolor-like. Then I used thin raffia and zigzagged in a circle. As I love monarch butterflies, here is another one. This photo of mountains and Aurora Borealis reminds me of the silhouette of a woman, so I made a black dress. Ink blot test, anyone? This lovely toad lived in our small pond for a couple of years and would sing. Tony was lucky enough to get a photo with the throat extended while singing. Tony took this photo near the grotto in the Bruce Peninsula National Park on Georgian Bay. I hope you enjoyed this video and the thread painting postcards.